Hi, I'm Bonga.
Hi, I'm Zwide.
Hey, I'm Damson.
Hey, I'm Matthew.
And we are Kujenga, and you're watching the K-Jazz Live music series with Kwako T, powered by Kofifi FM 97.2.
Where it all began.
So Kujenga is a 7-piece black improvised music collective from Cape Town who were on tour in November of 2023. Joining us now are 4 of the 7 members, and on the bass guitar was Zwide and Randy, of course, Tamsin Freaks on the trombone, Bonga Msola on the trumpet with Matthew Rightfoot on the tenor sax. Welcome to Kofifi FM, everybody.
Hey, thanks for having us.
The pleasure is all mine.
Yeah.
As always. Now, I want to talk to Bonga first, because everybody's talking today. What an incredible year, so, that it has been for you as a collective. And I want us to go back, and to the beginning of last year, and this is when you performed for the very first time in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
How has that been since?
What do I even say? I mean, 2023 was incredible, and I think none of us could have imagined that it would turn out the way that it did. I mean, we came to Joburg in many ways out of faith, because it wasn't meant to be the whole crew, it was meant to be a 4-piece, but we made it work.
Yeah.
And that's just been the year, and what an investment it's been for us. How the progress has gone with just in Cape Town, the gigs we've been playing, the following we've been growing, and to eventually for that to culminate into a tour in Joburg for an extended period of time. It's been unbelievable. The reception has been unbelievable. People, shout out Joburg.
Yeah.
Shout out Johannesburg, and I think shout out South Africa, because we open our hearts and our arms to you, and you've delivered always right on time, and I think the band has always positioned itself as a collective that pays homage, to musical ancestors, including the likes of Zimrawana, and countless others, who have influenced and shaped us as artists in the improvised music field. Now it's 2024, and you are now about to reveal the wake. The project is ready. Tell us about this album, and what conversations are you having this time?
It's still linked to paying homage in one way to those that laid the groundwork for us to move forward. What we're looking at with living in the wake of colonial plunder, living in the wake of apartheid, living in the wake of global capitalism, and living in the wake of, in particular when this album was written, the COVID-19 devastation.
Correct.
And people think that maybe because the global health crisis was over, we're going to go back to normal, but it's about challenging what was that normal? What was that past that influenced the present? And what does it mean for the future? And what implications does it have for where we want to go? So I do think the wake is about understanding that the things that we're dealing with are not necessarily singular time things, they're perennial, and I wanted to be able to express that in a way that looks to acknowledge what we've been through, but also looks to acknowledge what it has done for our present being, but then also map out a future that doesn't look like the one that we're living in right now. And essentially, that's what we've been doing. And I believe the musicians before us have been doing that as well. We take for granted just how prescient a lot of the artists were, with their bodies of work that can sound like they speak to the current time, Certain albums do that, and we're hoping that this is going to be one of those albums that do that for people.
We look forward to the storytelling. We look forward to the clarity in the intention of the music, and that will then, or maybe paint a picture of exactly what you and I are talking about, today. And I think, Matthew, let's talk about the creative process this time. What was different? What was inspirational for the collective to create a project like this?
But I think, for the 4 guys from the original quartet before the 3 of us joined as a horn section, I know that, particularly how the first album had some vocals on it, and I guess kind of as like Zwide often refers to us affectionately as the vuvuzelas, kind of taking that role, I suppose, as the voice. I suppose particularly from a melodic point of view. I think for the guys kind of moving from Nationality, the first album, into In the Wake, it's kind of that shift into this sound that incorporates the horns and kind of shifts towards that kind of more jazz-centered, black improvised kind of space, and as an evolution.
Yeah. Kofifi FM, we're talking to Kujenga on this one wonderful day, and it's all about the new project In the Wake, and they are currently about to embark on dropping this. I think we've been anticipating. That's the right word to use. But I wanna flip the script a little bit. And I wanna talk to Tamsin really quickly, and I think you've been asked this quite a lot, I assume, but we're gonna do it one more time for the gram.
Okay.
You are a rose amongst the thorns. How do you navigate all this male energy?
I'd say, so I play in a lot of bands and it is a male-dominated industry.
Yeah.
So naturally, most of the time, I'm the only woman in the band. And honestly, they're my brothers for real. They're my brothers, and they never make me feel like the woman of the band, but they also never make me feel like one of the guys.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's just their personalities. Our personalities really just work together. They're very protective, but never let me get away with it when I try. So they make it easy, and I do. I was thinking about this yesterday. I do think part of that is also, I guess, I wouldn't, okay, let me not be ageist, but I do think it is because a lot of the older guys I work with, they tend to be the more suspect ones, the dodgy ones, whereas with them, all six of them don't just respect the women in their lives, they actually respect women.
Yeah.
So they make it easier.
We love it, and of course we celebrate the boys for holding it together.
Yeah.
And reminding you that, listen, we got to work, man.
Me?
We got to work, man. You can come in here, brother. I mean, there's a wave.
Yeah.
I call it a wave of young black musicians who are taking jazz as we know it.
Yeah.
On a different trajectory altogether. You guys are exploring, you're reimagining jazz music. You are, without necessarily throwing away the rule book, but you are reinterpreting all the rules. Is this the new direction of jazz in South Africa? In your words, is this the new dawn?
Oh man, I mean, the term new dawn is a little bit triggering for South Africans.
Intentionally done. But
here we are. It's a great question because I do think having been part of this generation and seeing it culminate into different bands. I'll mention Ipupo Liga because one of the actually references for what we're doing when I think of them and what they were doing in 2021, even during Fisma's Fall, which I didn't really know about them because they were still Joburg based.
Yes.
But when they became national, I was really interested in that idea of like this protest band born out of the student movement in South African universities, but also linking the church, also linking spiritual, traditional African music into what they do. Seeing that gave me a blueprint, for what we're gonna do as Kujenga. So I had to give them their shout out.
Wow.
And knowing that there's other bands also that have come up within our generation, Buma the Council, Ntunkulu Ensemble, which is, these bands that are so and are so indicative of what you're talking about, this new direction. And I think this new direction actually comes from the fact that we're not so reliant upon the academy or the institutions to give us our props, to give us our platforms, or to give us knowledge that is actually innate within us as black people, as Africans. We're born with it. We're actually not so much doing anything new, but actually tapping back into something that has always been there. And I do think that kind of positionality has been taking place, and that kind of paradigm is what we're feeling with these newer acts. Us as a band, we don't necessarily come with the charts or whatever, that kind of element of how music is made with a lot of music and quote-unquote jazz music, black improvised music. We're doing it purely from the heart, and I'm seeing it with these bands, that I've mentioned, and I'm hoping that within the few acts that I've mentioned, we're setting a trigger for the next generation underneath us who'll be able to take it forward even more than what we could.
Yeah. Love that response. I think it is just that. We get in with it with all the rules in our heads, but we're doing it our way. Absolutely.
On our own terms.
Absolutely. What's next for Kujenga?
That's what is next. I mean, I think we want to see the world. You know, we've seen South Africa.
Yes.
I think we want to see the world, and we're hoping that, you know, but like as we just talked about, doing it on our own terms, that it happens purely because of what we've been able to build organically. And you know, it does feel like the more the attention grows on us, the more that becomes a possibility. And hopefully, 2024 will be that year for us.
Yeah, we wish you all that.
And more.
Of course. You know, we're about to head to the live stage, and you guys are playing us out with one of our favorite tunes on the show, our punt. You know?
Yes.
But before we do that, I'm going to take another round of conversation.
Yes.
You know, any last words? Well,
Any last words? Yeah, I mean, I think a massive thank you has to be said to everyone who's been listening to us, because we would not have been able to do anything without the people who've been so supportive.
Right.
Starting out in Cape Town, shout out Cape Town.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I mean, Cape Town's been a very interesting place to play in because of how I feel it's not the traditional jazz audience that we play for.
Right.
It's been a lot more, I mean, black people for one. And so yeah, shout out. But also to just across the country. Sorry to the people that weren't able to come to your cities, but hopefully this is the year that we're gonna do it. And hopefully that's with our dreams to see the world. We can't do that without the support of the people that support us. So a really special shout out has to be said to those people. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I agree with that. And even just thinking, the only person in the band that was born in Cape Town is Matthew.
Yeah.
The rest of us are from different places.
Everyone is a migrant worker.
Migrant labor.
You know what's giving trouble? But yeah, like Joburg and the Eastern Cape and Durban have been bullying us throughout the entire last year. And because of that, we came to Johannesburg and Durban. And during that time, the same people that were like, when you coming? All of them are at the shows singing along, like the support and the reception. It's so incredibly humbling, and I'm eternally grateful. We all come to Eastern Cape, justice for Eastern Cape, justice for Africa.
I'll hold them to it. Trust me.
Oh man, the thank yous also need to go to people such as yourself, Marco. You know, who've given us platforms for us to do this thing. The supportive media that we have in this realm of music. You know, knowing how much loved this genre, this sound is, but also knowing that the limits, you know, of economic reasons make it difficult for us to get to where we want to get at points, but it's not without the support of, you know, Kofifi, the KJazz show, and all the people that you've been able to reach and influence through your show, and all the other media people who also had us, Mom KG, Maketsi, shout out to Mom Temba, you know, so many people. And I want to thank the support structure as well, the people that make this possible, because I always liken Kujenga to like a grassroots network. You know, it's more than just a band. It's a communal initiative, and I just would be wrong to not acknowledge the way that this is not just on our own accord. It's through the support of people such as yourself, and those who help us get to the next point in our destination.
And may you keep rising.
Thank you, man.
May you keep rising. Last but not least, man.
Yeah, I think I'll give a shout out to Zwide, our leader. Also, I suppose Zwide.
The one to blame for everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think also just the original quartet. So Zwide, Owetu, Thanes, Kumbuzo for bringing the three of us into this family. And then I guess to all of us for just generating, or through time and through like a lot of just effort and sweat and spending time with each other to get to this point of feeling like a family, where I think as an artist there's this constant ebb and flow between self-confidence and self-doubt that you're always trying to manage. And I think for me, like in the Kujenga context, I feel like I never really have to actually do that.
Yeah.
I'm always just like, Kujenga is where it's at, man, and it's home, and it's love, and it's just like fun all the time.
Yeah. And most importantly,
Yeah.
it has to be fun all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, thank you so much for joining us here in Johannesburg, of course, and all the best with the brand new project. In the Wake is coming out, and we wish all the best. We want you back another tour for another week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
Here we look forward to another incredible, 2024 for Kujenga.
Thank you,
Thank
Thank you very much.
And this, of course, was the conversation with Kujenga. Thank you so much, dear listener, for watching. Thank you so much for listening and always paying attention to the K-Jazz Show. I am Makuti Malakawaka, and this was the K-Jazz live music series powered by Kofifi FM 97.2.